Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wow Wednesday, where we share words of wisdom. Trying to make sure that this camera does not fall. I don't have it stable. God bless you all as you are coming on. Now, our topic for today is we need to cut down some trees. We need to cut down some trees. Okay. Now, I don't mean in a literal sense going outside cutting trees down. We need our trees, we need our oxygen. But I am talking from the standpoint of a figurative language, and I know many of you know what figurative language is, or, using common metaphors. There is a meaning behind the words that we're using. So, in essence, what I mean by we need to cut down some trees, we need to cut down some things that are in our lives that is blocking the sunlight, that is blocking our view, that is blocking our vision, that is blocking our direction, our pathway where God is trying to take us. We need to cut those trees down because we cannot see the vision. Oftentimes when we are faced with where God is trying to take us, the next excursion, we don't know where to go. We're trying to maneuver through some things, but there may be some obstacles in our pathway, those trees that we need to cut down, because then that's when you can really see where you're going. You cannot see where you're going when you have a big bunch of trees in front of you. You can't see behind it. I don't know if many of you know about the towers and things that they're putting up, these cell towers. A lot of them are hiding behind trees, and you can't even hardly tell where they are in some areas where they're putting them up, those 5G towers. But like I said, we need to cut down some trees. We need to cut down some trees in our life. And trees can mean so many different things. It can be things that we have put as an obstacle in our pathway. A lot of times we get too busy. We're involved in this, we're involved in that club, this organization, that business, this business. We run in two and three businesses all at one time. Then we trying to, manage being a leader in this club, a leader in that club, and doing all of these things, and it is just blocking our pathway, blocking our vision, blocking what it is that is placed right in front of us we do not see, because trees are big, trees are huge, trees, they're not just that trunk that we see at the bottom. Those branches and the leaves and all of that, it really takes up a lot of space. And you have a lot of trees in your way, boy, it's almost like you in a jungle. You trying to push through here and go through here and go through this and go through that, and that gets a little tiring. It can be laborious. It takes up a lot, like I say, of your time to do those types of things. And so if you cut those trees down, you can remove some things in your life so that you can plainly see what's right in front of you. Oftentimes it will bring you to a better place with where you're trying to go. Because sometimes what trees would represent is slowing down the momentum of where you're trying to go. You can get there much quicker if the trees weren't in the way, because trees will slow you down because you're faced with something. You something right in front of you. You got to try to figure out, which way do I go? Do I go around this tree? Do I climb this tree and go over this tree? What do I do? But if you cut them down, if you can remove them, if you can just take some things off of your plate, it would be much easier for you. You I just thought of something else too. Like if you have a lot of food on your plate, you're going to get weighted down. You know how we do. We love to eat. Hey, I love to eat. But you put too much food on that plate and you sit there and you eat and you eat and you eat. By the time you get done, there is nothing else left to do but just lay down probably and go to sleep, because that's what most of us do in the evening time. And we don't need to be eating like that at night. And so yes, you can't do that. You can't set yourself up for failure. You can't set yourself up for setbacks. You can't set yourself up to be slowed down, because that food in your stomach in the middle of the night or in the eating time, it will slow you down. Then no way you gonna do no exercise after all that food. Ain't no way, you'll be too heavy. And if you're doing any exercises, you're gonna have some heartburn, acid reflux, and all that kind of stuff going on. You'll be up all night, and then you'll be upset to myself. I should not have did all that stuff. Trying to do some sit-ups and all the food coming all up in here and stuff. You can't do that. So it slows you down. Even though it might be good, the food is good, even though the things that you're involved in may be good, it may be beneficial, you may see the rewards behind it, but your plate is too full. Your plate is too full. You got too much going on, and you need to let some stuff go. Matter of fact, it don't have to be you. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes we carry so much that we just feel like we have to be the ones, when we need to just free ourselves of some things. We can just release ourselves of some roles and responsibilities. Imagine how you would feel if you were to do that. But some of us, we so busy and we feel like we so obligated to do so many things that we won't do that. The pride will step in the way, or if I don't do it, it won't get done a certain way, so I have to be the one to do it. No, you don't have to be the one to do it. You can train somebody to do it. You can release yourself so that you can have some peace. You can be stress free. You won't have to be boggled down with things, because the more things you have in your hands to do, some people think that's the success way. Some people think that if you're doing a lot of things, that makes you look real well in the eyes of people, but that just makes you more stressful. That makes you more weighted down. That just makes you busy. It doesn't mean that you're effective just because you're busy. It just means that you got a lot on your plate and you need to cut some stuff loose. You need to cut down some trees. You need to, be sparingly about some things. Don't take in too much, just a little bit at a time. Don't take on too many roles and assignments. You don't have time for that. God got something else for you to do, and he's trying to take you in a direction, but you got all this stuff over here. You so bogged down, you don't even know how to free yourself. Sometimes we get to that place where we don't know how to free ourselves, because we got so much to do and we don't know how to say no. We don't know how to say the word no. That is a powerful word. Did you know no is a powerful word, but many of us don't like to say that word? We tell our kids no, though. We'll tell our spouses no, But when it comes to a person, can you do this for me? Oh, I need you. Oh, you make those excellent flower arrangements. Can you make some flower arrangements for my mom and her wedding anniversary? It's hard for us to say no when it comes down to other people outside of our little circle. We don't want to say no. Why is it so hard for us to say no? But you know what? Behind that no is peace. Behind that no is a Selah moment. I don't have to be the one, because there are countless other people. You're not the only one that can do it. Don't obligate yourself and bind yourself to do things that other people are qualified to do as well. They can find other people. I know if it's somebody that a good friend, somebody that you're real close to, those kind of things. I understand that totally. But I'm talking about when people, and people will pull on your strings. They'll pull on these heartstrings now. Folk will do it all the time. They pull on your heartstrings. They make you feel guilty. They make you give in just about, because they telling you everything they had to do. That then sometimes they'll give you a sad story, and then you will sit there and do it every time. You know, but there are times that you're gonna have to say no, because look, you can't deal with all those trees in your life when they blocking your sun. They blocking your sunlight. You can't see. It's dark up in between them trees. You can't see. You get caught up in there. You got to cut down some trees so you can see where you going. We all need direction. You may have that compass in your hand. You may have that GPS system, but if all them trees in the way and that GPS trying to track where it's trying to go, and you're going through a lot of trees and a lot of different crazy roads or whatever, sometimes they don't know how to pick it up. They will have you way out somewhere. I remember me and my husband, we went to Texas one time. We didn't know, it was Waco, Texas. And we were trying to find this church. We were heading to a funeral, our best friend. And boy, that GPS system had us going all through a back way and coming. And really, what we should have done is kept the main road. We got lost, and I'm like, oh my God, why did we go through here? It slowed us down considerably. We were late. We didn't want to be late, but it happened. But like I said, sometimes GPS can't track when you got all this stuff going on. Your compass may not track it, what you're using to help you, to gauge you, to help to maneuver through life, to help you to see where you're trying to go, may not help you. But if you cut down some of them trees, it will. If you can remove some barriers in your life, some people. Sometimes trees can be people. Sometimes trees can be businesses, organizations, obligations to this and that. Your job sometimes can be presented as trees, because people will pull and pull and pull from you until you have nothing left to give. Don't allow people to drain you until you don't have nothing to give to anyone, because you owe it to your family. When you come home, you owe them some of you when you get home, and to be pulled away so much because you got to meet this obligation, you got to do this, you trying to save this, you trying to save that, you trying to be effective here, you trying to be effective over there, you trying to meet the demands here, and you just trying to advocate over here, and you just got your hands in so much. But you got to know your family is important. Your life is important. You got to take out some time for you. You got to take out some time to enjoy your life. Just, sometimes you just be in your backyard, sitting in a chair and just admiring the view, just taking in some fresh air, just looking at the scenery, and not having to answer a phone call, not having to be obligated to do anything for an hour or two. Just to give yourself some time, because you need to regroup. You need to refocus. You need to get yourself together. Sometimes it takes those times like that, moments like that. Sometimes before I come home, I'll go somewhere and just maybe grocery shopping, or I may not even be shopping. I just may go to Walmart or something. And I take the longest walk, just walking through the store, just looking at stuff, maybe driving, just to admire scenery, looking around, all that type of thing before I go home. Because I know when I go home, everybody wants me. But I'm exhausted when I leave work. And sometimes, like I said, I have to go somewhere and do a slight detox before I get home to get my mind energized so that I can be prepared to meet whatever I face when I get there. But if I'm so involved, heavily involved in stuff, and I'm busy, and I have been busy, I have done things. I have some years back. There was a lot of sacrifices that I made that sometimes I regret. I look back and I say, man, look how much time I missed because I was so involved in trying to do this and do that. I had my hands in too much stuff. And I had to realize what is important. But when I let that stuff go, you talking about such a release from me, the stress level, all of that, I felt freer because I let it go. I had too much on my plate and it was slowing me down. You don't need anything to slow you down from where you're trying to go, because when you running your race, you got to run it with patience. But if you got too much heaviness on you, when you got too many weights on you, you'll get tired and you will not stay in that race. Matter of fact, you will probably pass out before you even get to that finish line. You'll still be trying to figure out, how in the world did I get here? Why am I down right now? You know. But if you didn't have so much weight on your shoulders, you didn't have so much you were carrying, if you didn't have so much you were responsible for, then you would have still been at the pace that you were at before you put all that weight on. So you need to cut down some trees in your life. I know I'm talking to somebody, and sometimes it's hard to hear these kind of messages because as women, we feel like we are obligated. As men, you feel like it's your duty. You got to do this. But you got to realize there's only one you, and you got to take care of you. You can't meet every obligation. You can't do everything. You just one person. I guarantee you, if you say those words no a few times, some people will bag off from you. As a matter of fact, they won't be running to you because they know that, oh, she told me no, or he told me no. So they're not going to be at a rush to come back to ask you. Not that you're trying to push people away, but you got to understand, they have to value you. They got to value your time. They have to value that you're an individual. You have a family, you have children, you have a career going, you got this going, you got that going. And people have to realize, you got more than, what they probably feel as though is an obligation. You got more than what they think is on your plate. And then add one added thing that they give you that's even more added. And sometimes, people have to hear that no word because they always think that you're going to say yes. And if you're that yes woman or you that yes man, they're going to always come to you because they know you're not going to tell them no. So we got to cut down some trees. Find out where you need to cut some trees down and cut them down. You got to do it for the sake of your sanity, for the sake of your health, a lot of us, for the sake of your peace, because you need peace, for the sake of you just enjoying your own life. Because sometimes you can be so consumed and wrapped up in trying to do for others that you don't even enjoy your life. Just you and yourself, just taking yourself out. Sometimes, you need to take yourself out, do things for yourself, spoil yourself, treat yourself, and enjoy yourself, be happy, go and crack, look at something and laugh, watch a movie, spend some time with somebody that you care about, a good friend, a family member, a sister, brother, whoever. But We gotta cut down some trees in our life. Find out what trees you need to cut down in your life, and try to cut those trees down, because you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself. Now, this is our Wild Wednesday, you all. I apologize that it was long, but I really wanted to emphasize the cutting those trees down. You got to cut those trees down in your life. All right, you guys. We will be back for another Wild Wednesday. Take care. God bless. See you next time. Bye-bye.